Hi guys, Spike Recap here. Today I'll continue recapping you the story about a boy who got reincarnated into another world. Make sure to check previous part, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Desperate to get some money, Kazuma and his party are looking for a quest at the guild. They manage to find one that perfectly suits Aqua, as they only need to purify a lake which got infested by brutal alligators. Apparently the monsters will leave after the lake is purified, so they will not need to fight at all. Aqua explains that she can purify the water just by being in contact with it, so Kazuma develops a plan how to safely do it, placing Aqua in a large metal cage to keep her safe from the monsters. They transport her to the lake in question. The plan seems to work perfectly as Aqua is just sitting in water, slowly purifying it. Some hours pass and the monsters show up, but as they attack Aqua, they are unable to get her thanks to the strong cage. Kazuma, Megaman and Darkness observe the situation while Aqua keeps getting trashed around in her metal cage. Though she completes the task, she is too scared to get out of the cage. Kazuma can only take the cage back to the village. Just then a man rushes out and breaks open the cage. It turns out that this man is also a transmigrationer who was guided by Aqua to this fantasy. He admires Aqua very much, so when he hears about Aqua's tough life, he challenges Kazuma to take Aqua away if he wins. Kazuma launches a sneak attack and takes the opportunity to use his steal skill to steal the man's weapon and soon wins the challenge. They then leave the man and return to the Adventurers Guild. The man chases after him trying to get his weapon back, but only to have it sold by Kazuma. Meanwhile, the Headless Knight shows up outside the village again. It turns out that Megaman still sneaks to cast the burst magic in front of the castle every day, though she was warned last time. The Headless Knight is so pissed off and decides to destroy the novice village. Seeing that there is no way to resolve the conflict, Aqua uses purification magic to attack the Headless Knight, who turns out to be an undead. Therefore, her attack causes no damage to the Headless Knight except for making him uncomfortable. The Headless Knight then summons an army to attack Aqua. At this moment, Kazuma thinks of a way. He asks Aqua to run with the army toward the Headless Knight and then asks Megaman to cast the burst magic to bombard the group of enemies. The army gets wiped out instantly. However, these attacks still can't cause damage to the Headless Knight. Darkness then steps forward to be a strong shield, though she can't attack. Kazuma takes the opportunity to release the water magic he just acquired but gets dodged easily by the Headless Knight. But Kazuma also finds out that the Headless Knight may be afraid of water because he didn't dodge the previous attacks but the attack of water. So he asks the magicians in the novice village to attack the Headless Knight with water magic. At the critical moment, Aqua casts the strongest water spell, which directly summons a huge flood to attack the Headless Knight, while Kazuma takes the opportunity to steal the knight's head. As the Headless Knight has lost his fighting power, Aqua uses the purification magic, defeating the Headless Knight completely. Kazuma's team has a great victory and gets rewarded with 300 million gold coins. However, because Aqua's powerful water magic caused a heavy loss to the city, they'll have to compensate 340 million gold coins. Their team now owes 40 million instead. Owing so much money, the squad has to take on more tasks to make money. After screening, Kazuma takes the task of crusading snow elves. These snow elves have little offensive power. It is said that once a snow elf is killed, the spring will come a day earlier. Besides, 100,000 gold coins are rewarded for killing one. During the fight, Kazuma is curious why no one takes such a simple task. To accelerate the speed of the kill, Megaman uses the powerful burst magic, but accidentally draws out the snow elf's master, the General of Winter. General of Winter is too strong to be defeated, and that's why nobody dares to take on the task. At the critical moment, Aqua remembers that General Winter is very forgiving, as long as they plead for forgiveness sincerely and admit their mistakes. General Winter will definitely let them go. However, Darkness refuses to admit defeat because she wants to be abused in the fight with General Winter. Seeing Darkness is about to be killed, Kazuma saves her, but he got killed by the General of Winter. Kazuma's soul once again comes to the space where a new goddess appears in front of him. Since Kazuma has already died in the fantasy world, he has to reincarnate this time. After all this time, Kazuma has already concluded a deep friendship with his 3 teammates, and he is really worried about leaving them alone in the other world. Just as tears flood his eye, he hears the voice of Aqua. It turns out that Aqua, who is good at healing spells, uses the resurrection magic to bring Kazuma back to life. His teammates are very happy to see Kazuma again, though their task of the Snow Elves gets declared a failure. After so many battles, Kazuma finds that the combat power in their team is too unbalanced and they lack a major output skill. So Kazuma decides to learn the magic from the city's witch whiz that can absorb the enemy's physical and magical power. Though the undead Wiz is a kind girl, but Aqua doesn't really like Wiz because of her race. When Wiz is teaching Kazuma, Aqua secretly attacks Wiz, causing her to be weak. Just then, someone comes to ask Wiz to help expel the evil spirits in their castle. Since Wiz is weak, now Kazuma's team takes on the task. At night, they move into the castle where Aqua finds her treasured wine is drank by the evil spirits. She gets so angry and begins to expel the evil spirits. As a goddess with top healing magic, Aqua was born to be the nemesis of the evil spirits. After a night of working, they finally disperse the evil spirits in the castle. Because they helped expel the evil spirit, the owner of the castle decides to let Kazuma's team spend the winter in the castle. Since they don't have to worry about food and clothing, Kazuma wanders around the city and overhears that there is a new store run by a succubus in the city where customers only need to give some of their energy in exchange for creating a dream world they want. As a teenager, what Kazuma wants is to be able to sleep with a beauty in the dream world. After signing the contract, Kazuma returns to the castle expectantly. When he thinks of what's gonna happen in the dream, Kazuma gets too excited to sleep, so he decides to take a bath to relieve his emotions. At this moment, darkness appears outside the door. She doesn't know that Kazuma is here taking a bath and gets in too. Since Kazuma has closed his eyes, he thinks he is in an erotic dream now. He then begins to forcefully command Darkness to serve him. Though feeling weird about Kazuma's behavior, Darkness still obediently follows his order, as she is a masochist. Just then, there come the shrieks of Aqua and Megaman. It turns out that they catch the succubus who sneaks in late at night to create the dream for the guest. When Kazuma goes out to check, he realizes that he was not dreaming at all. But since the succubus came for him, Kazuma can't allow her to be attacked by Aqua and stands in front of the succubus. At that moment, Darkness also shows up, and she thinks Kazuma was controlled by the succubus in the bat. Eventually, the girls work together to knock Kazuma down, and the succubus takes the opportunity to escape. Afterwards, everyone thinks Kazuma was controlled. Though this is what Kazuma wanted, at least he keeps his reputation. But from this day onwards, Darkness stares at Kazuma differently. She seems to like how Kazuma commanded her that day. Peaceful days do not last long. This day outside the city appears a giant destroyer, which is said to be a violent ancient weapon. Wherever it passes through, the area will be destroyed. To save the city, the Adventurers Guild gathers all the adventurers in the city. Kazuma's team also participates in this battle. Although Darkness has perverted desires, she overcomes her desires at the moment of crisis and blocks the gate with her body, vowing to protect the people behind her even at the cost of death. Aqua also releases the strongest purification magic and lifts Destroyer's protective boundary. Megaman teams up with the city's Witch Wiz to release the most powerful burst magic and crushes Destroyer in one fell swoop. But things don't end here. Destroyer sets into self-destruct mode. If it explodes, the city will be completely destroyed. Darkness has decided to protect the people and rushes to the Destroyer, which touches other adventurers. They decide to work together to find the core of Destroyer, the Corona Stone, to stop its explosion. They soon find the core inside Destroyer next to a corpse and a book in which the history of this Destroyer was recorded. It turns out that a crazy scientist created this weapon but then couldn't control it, leaving the Destroyer to destroy cities, and he got trapped here to death. Wiz has run out of her magic power, so she unleashes the skill of absorbing to absorb Kazuma's magic power and finally releases the magic to transfer the Corona Stone out of Destroyer, successfully stops its self-destruction. Just when everyone thinks they are saved, the Destroyer starts to heat up, and if not stopped, the entire city would be burned to ashes. Kazuma wants Megaman to cast the burst magic to destroy the Destroyer, but she has run out of her magic power. At this critical moment, Kazuma absorbs Aqua's magic power and transfers it to Megaman. By this way, Megaman casts the strongest burst magic ever and ruined the Destroyer completely. Afterward, a knight was sent to Kazuma from a distant kingdom. Kazuma thinks it is because he defeated the Destroyer and is about to get rewarded. But to be told that he has committed treason, it turns out that the Corona Stone happened to drop on the landlord's territory and ruined his castle, so the knight was sent to arrest him. Kazuma looks helpless. It seemed that he has got as bad luck as Aqua does, so what will Kazuma encounter after entering the kingdom? This brings the end of the first season.